Okay folks, I want to welcome you to this video where I'm going to basically talk about the GoPro Hero 8 Black. And I've had this thing for, I would say 3 weeks now, maybe going on a month. I bought it over, I was in Thailand when it came out. I kept checking these stores and checking the stores and got lucky, stumbled into a power buy, and they just received a box of them that morning. So I was able to pick one up, you know, probably one of the first folks in Thailand to be able to get it, and immediately put it to work. Now let me talk about the reason why I went with the GoPro. And if you've watched any of my previous videos, folks, I was not a fan of GoPro. So let me back up so I don't sound like some GoPro fanboy, or, you know, GoPro's not paying me to say anything here, and nothing on my channel is sponsored. So I can say what the hell I want. I had a GoPro, I think it was a Hero 4 Black back, you know, years ago. When it came out, I'm pretty sure it was a 4. I bought the GoPro, all the accessories, you know, I mean, I was in it, the remotes, I mean, I bought everything for it. And I struggled to like that camera, but ended up it was the biggest piece of junk. It was basically a toy. It worked when it wanted to. The screen locked up. It seemed like it would overheat and lock up. Folks, I tried to like that damn thing, but I just couldn't get it working. I spent most of my time trying to get the damn thing to work, and to stay recording, and you'd come back and your footage isn't there. It was just a total piece of shit. There's no way you could use it for anything professional other than, you know, these little stunt shots. You know, kids skiing and stuff, where it's a niche. My impression was it's a niche camera that's really a toy for most people who buy it, and oh, by the way, it's not reliable at all. So it was a horrible piece of gear, and so it left a very bad taste in my mouth about GoPro. I swore I'd never deal with GoPro again. That was in 2013, maybe 2014, 2012, somewhere back there. So when you know, I started getting into YouTube, I guess right at a year now, kind of really pushing some videos, you know, maybe 2 years if you look back. So I got a few hundred videos on this channel. Now, I'm not a professional videographer. I'm probably one of the worst videographers in the world. You know, my scope of expertise, I like to get drunk and talk to the camera. And I like to make travel videos, but I don't know much about videography, photography, editing. So everything I say is just coming from really an average dude who, through trial and errors, learned how to upload a YouTube video. So anyhow, you're constantly looking for a better platform, a better camera, and there is no perfect camera. But I bought the DJI Osmo Pocket, and I've had this thing for, I don't know, going on a year. And if you look back, a lot of my videos are shot on this little DJI Osmo Pocket in 4K at 60 frames per second. And the footage is just absolutely awesome. I mean, it's wonderful. Okay, folks, had to take a quick break. Got 2 babies. They're waking up, getting fired up for the day. So when I try to make these little videos, I got to get up in the middle of the night. You know, I got to get up at like 3, or we'll stay up till 3 if I'm going to make a video indoors without all the noise. Anyhow, I was talking about the DJI Osmo Pocket. This little camera right here is a great piece of gear. The picture quality is awesome. It's just, stabilization is perfect. And this thing right here is 100% reliable. I mean, it's never let me down. This thing will record 4K 60 until the battery dies, which is like an hour and 20 minutes. And it's just a quality piece of gear, but it has one drawback. And this one drawback is sort of what led me to say, all right, let me give GoPro another chance. The audio in this thing sucks. Now, if you listen to some of my walking tours, the reason the audio is good is because I'm walking and I'm literally holding this thing right here. The microphone's a little pinhole. So when I'm doing these walking tours, I'm talking directly into this microphone. The problem with that is if I talk to other folks during my walking tour or during when I'm filming, you can't hear anything they say. And if I'm just holding it out, the audio is just not good. Everything else, DJI is perfect, but for me to get good audio, I've just basically got to walk around and talk directly into the microphone. But that's what makes this thing really good for walking tours. If you're going from point A to point B and you're just doing some narration of the scenery. Now when I try to hold it out and film myself while I'm doing these walking tours, it's not ideal. This is just too great a distance. The audio quality, the audio level is just too low. And I've actually tried external microphones with this thing, and I use the auto setting, low, medium, high. And even with using external mics, I just can't get the audio quality with this guy. It's just not there. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, but I've tried my Video Micro. I've tried the system that I'm recording on now. It's a Sennheiser G3 wireless system. And it's not there. So this thing is a great camera for what I use it for, and that's basically my walking tours where I'm shooting out and I'm talking and I'm narrating. And that's the way I like to do things. I don't like voiceovers. I just like to talk in the moment. So this is a great piece of gear, but I wanted something that was going to help me out on the audio without having to hang all these external microphones off of it. And also sometimes with this gimbal, with any gimbal, occasionally you got to reset it. If you're holding the horizon and you want to look down at something, you got to switch over to first person view, and it just takes time. So I was looking for something with comparable video quality, but with a little bit easier to use and with a better audio. So I was checking out the DJI Osmo Action, and I come this close to getting it because it's number one, it was available. Number two, it's a lot cheaper than a GoPro. And I went through, a million YouTube videos doing my research. Which one am I going to go with? Because I'm tired of buying cameras that just don't work for what I need. The baby's in the background. So I just kept doing my research, pitting it against the GoPro Hero 7, and I ruled out the GoPro Hero 7. That's definitely the Osmo Action easily beat the 7 in my book. But when the Hero 8 came out, the audio just kicked the ass of the 7 and the Osmo Action. And the audio is huge. I struggle with my audio in most of my videos unless I take the time to wire myself up with this Sennheiser G3 no shit professional system. My audio is always crap. So I said, I'm not going to go with the Osmo Action, even though DJI, this little Osmo Pocket, has never failed me. I mean, this is a quality piece of gear that you can rely on as long as you understand the audio limitation. So I'm thinking back, okay, the GoPro has failed me in the past. I mean, it was like a paperweight. I ended up giving the thing to my kid just to try out with the snowboarding. Hey man, play with it. It's a toy. It probably won't work, but if you can get some snowboarding footage, okay. So I got a very bad taste in my mouth about GoPro. But when I'm comparing the stabilization, the Osmo, action is pretty much the same. The picture quality on the Hero 8 is better than the Osmo. I think it's better picture quality and the audio is much better. So I said, okay, I'm gonna give GoPro another shot. Then I watched this one guy's video. He's a bicycler, man, I'd give you credit, but I can't remember. I watched so many videos doing my research. But he basically said, hey, you know, before you buy this GoPro, there's a couple things, and he talked about number one, audio quality, and number two, or number three, or number one, reliability. And he's using this old Sony, that white colored Sony that's, what's it called, the X3000 or some shit like that. It's Sony's action cam that's several years old. And he said, the reason I'm using it, because it always works. And I'm sitting there thinking about my old Sony camcorder, you know, that I'm trying to retire. The damn thing always works, and the audio is great. And I'm sitting there thinking, man, are you really want to give this GoPro another chance? Because it wasn't reliable. And an old Sony camcorder, all you got to do is hit that button, it's in focus, great audio, it's going. But you know, that thing's getting old, it's only shoots 1080, and it's getting a little grainy because it's old. It's time, you know, it's time to upgrade. So yeah, I wanted that reliability, and that was a risk that I knew I was going to take when I bought the GoPro. But I said, you know, let's do it. So I pulled the trigger. I bought that GoPro. The first day that place got a shipment of them. Now in this video, I'm not including any footage, because all you got to do is go to my channel and watch like the past, what is it, 12, 13, 14 videos. They're all shot on this GoPro Hero 8 and with basically unedited audio. I think on my boat trip, I tried to use some noise reduction from Final Cut Pro, but every other video other than that Subic Bay boat trip, the audio is unedited, the levels aren't changed. What you hear on that video is the audio coming straight out of this camera. And this is, you know, this is what, when you watch these review sites, a lot of times what people do, they go buy it, or the company sends it to them on a loaner basis. They go out, they make a couple of videos, but really what they're doing, they're making their review video. They're not putting the information on the review video out of experience. Their main objective is to do what? Is to make and publish the review video. They're reviewing all these cameras all the time. How the hell can you really make an informed opinion when you haven't used the damn thing of any given time? So I didn't do an unboxing video because I wanted to get some time behind the lens on this thing, so I can make an informed opinion. So here's what I got to say about the GoPro Hero 8. It's probably like the longest intro to what you really want to hear. The picture quality on this thing during outdoor use, daytime, is just top notch. The stabilization is top notch. I mean, it makes beautiful footage. Beautiful footage during the day. I mean, you can be bumping around. I mean, I can hang it on the stroller. I'm in the tricycle. This thing is a wonderful camera during the day. The stabilization is wonderful. The audio on this thing is on time. Now, is it a Hollywood, you know, boom microphone? No, but this thing is usable audio. It's got a little bass to it, and if you listen to the DJI, it's like really treble. There's no bass in it. You know, it's like the RX 100. They just sound fake. This thing right here, the audio coming out of that little microphone is usable. It's good quality. So within those parameters, I love this thing. And the ease of use, all I do is hit the damn button and boom, I'm recording. I hit the button, I'm recording. And when I change from shooting forward to changing back, all I'm doing is spinning it around. I'm not I'm not even cutting the clip. I'm just spinning it slow, and then you actually just get a panoramic view of the side, and I don't have to start and stop this thing. I keep talking, I'm walking, I spin it around, now I'm shooting over here, I spin it back around. The ease of use is too easy. The battery life is pretty good. I haven't done a timed exactly how long the battery lasts. But I bought 5 batteries in the little charger, and that little charger is a 2 battery charger. It's perfect. It's compact. It's perfect. It's easy to use. And so I'm very happy that I purchased this GoPro. And for the most part, I'm enjoying the hell out of it. It's just too easy to use. And for the most part, and I'm going to talk about the negatives in a second, when I hit the button on this thing, it goes to work. And I've got a couple different, I bought a bunch of their accessories, but I've been using, for the most part, this is the tripod from the GoPro, the Max, because it's a lot longer. That little shorty, I have that, but even if you set that on your desk, it's not high enough to use it as a tripod. So this thing here, it's got a good grip. I can shove it down in my pocket, my back pocket, or in my bag, and it just comes in and out. And so this is what I found to be the easiest to use. And if I need a tripod to talk to this thing on my desk, boom, it's high enough. So I've really been enjoying using it. Now, let me tell you, so I would say that's the good. Now let's talk about the bad. So we'll do the good, bad, and ugly. The bad is that in low light or indoors, and if you look at my airport video where it's like fluorescent lighting, even if I use it here in my office with this fluorescent lighting, any low light situation, it goes grainy. It's very grainy. The stabilization will also go to crap. So in low light, this is not a mechanical gimbal like on the Osmo Pocket. In low light, this thing still holds steady because it's a mechanical gimbal. Now, I don't know all the technology, but this is, electronic stabilization with the algorithm. When the low light drops, the stabilization just goes to crap. And that goes for indoors. Indoors at that airport, the thing just fell apart. So that's a drawback. The low light, and it's an action cam, and maybe you can't expect it to perform in low light. But that's the bad of it. Is low light, and then the fact that the stabilization goes to shit in low light. Now, when I read this review, a lot of people talk bad about this door. Oh, it's horribly designed. But look, you click it down, you lift it up. I can pull the battery in and out without the door flying off. And you just close it and pop it in there. It's not as bad as everybody thinks, right? And so I'm not really complaining about the door. I can pull those batteries in and out of there, no big deal. Just pop them out, pop them back in. And most of the time the door don't come off. And just pop it back down in there. I'm back to running. Easy to change out the batteries. Now the SIM card, I'm the type of guy, I don't take the SIM card out. So I would say yes, if you're the type of person who swaps out SIM cards a lot, or you're taking it out and using a SIM card reader, that thing is in there kind of deep. I don't think you can get it. Maybe you can if you have long fingernails, but me, I don't think I can get it out of there. So it could probably be designed a little bit better. Now, on to the ugly. All right. Now, there's been a couple of times, and I'm not going to say it's the GoPro's fault. Maybe it was my fault. There's been a couple of times where I lost some clips. Now, I'm not going to say definitively it didn't record the clip, and I'm not going to say definitively that it didn't transfer the clip. Maybe I screwed it up when I was transferring the files over. And so I'm going to leave it at that right now. the jury's still out on the 100% reliability, because I have lost some clips. But when I tell the ugly part of it, this may explain why. The only problem, the real issue I have with this is a hardware issue, and it's the fact that the USB-C port, because what I was doing, what I like to do is just plug in. I like to plug in and then plug into either the iPad or the computer and just download it over the cable, right? Well, when I was plugging in, occasionally the damn thing would just stop transferring the files. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? You know, we're dealing with another GoPro software screw up. I couldn't, you know, I just couldn't get the files to go over all together. Maybe I'd get 2 or 3, then it would stop. Then I'd get 1 or 2, then it would stop. I have to re-drag them over. And then finally I realized this isn't a damn software issue. When I plug that thing in there, now this is a brand new GoPro. It's been babied, it hasn't been jacked around, but the damn plug, the actual port is so loose. It's so loose that if I leave it on the tripod and plug it in, it won't make the connection. I've got to lift it up with my finger and kind of hold it and, you know, try to get it in place. And most of the time what I have to do is lay the camera down flat, plug this in, get the proper tension on it. You know what I'm talking about. You've had a device that you've had to do that before. Get the proper tension and then don't touch it. Once you get that proper tension, don't touch the damn thing. And then it will drag the files over. And so I just quickly realized it's not a software issue. It's a hardware issue, that damn port right there is already loose. And it's loose to the point where I just can't plug it in and have it go to work. So I said, okay, well, you know, and I don't want to have to pop that SIM card out every time because it's buried deep in there. So I said, all right, let's go to the third option. And that's what I'm doing now is when I go, I just do it wirelessly through the app over to the iPad. So what I do, I go out and shoot. The minute I come back, I swap out a battery, put a fresh battery in there, and open up the app, and I start transferring, downloading the files wirelessly. Now, if you don't put a fresh battery in, you know, I do a lot of filming in 4K, the battery will go dead and then the transfer will stop. So my flow now is to go out, film, come back, plop a new battery in, open the app, download it into the GoPro app, and then dump it to Photos because I just edit on iMovie. The thing about it, the transfer over Wi-Fi is slow. It is slow, especially if you compare it to the transfer over Wi-Fi on the DJI Osmo Pocket. But it's what I'm having to work with. I'd much rather just plug this thing in and let it go to work. You know, on this guy here, plug it in, it's a good solid connection. It just drags the files over, no problem. But for some reason, this damn GoPro, brand new, using the GoPro supplied cord, and I've tried other cords, it's not the cords, it's this damn port. After 1 month of use, it's just so damn loose, you know, that it doesn't make a good connection. And so it's a hardware fail. And maybe I just got a bad camera because I got bad luck. But, you know, I've used it for 1 month. It hasn't been abused or roughhoused. There's not a scratch on it. I'm very ginger about when I plug it in. But it's, for me, that's the fatal flaw because that's how I want to transfer my footage. Now I have to transfer it wirelessly and it's slow. But I just, you know, when I come in, I start to transfer. I walk with, you know, fresh battery, start to transfer, I walk away, you know, come back 30 minutes later, okay, 45 minutes later, however long it takes, and the footage is dumped. So that's my big complaint. I don't know if anybody else has had that complaint, but that's really the only thing I got to complain about, and that's why I think that the footage that I lost during my transfers, when I kept saying, oh hell, Is this GoPro screwing up again? I don't think so. I think it was because of this loose port and then the transfer of 30, 40 clips, maybe I didn't get one. So I'm not gonna say, I'm gonna say this. So far, I haven't had any software issues, lockups, stuff like that. So far, this thing is working as I want it to, other than the fact that that damn port's just loose and I can't transfer my files via the USB-C. And maybe that's something I could send it back to GoPro and they would fix, but I'm here in the Philippines. It's not as easy as in the States where you go down to Best Buy and take it back, or go to Walmart and take it back, or put it in the mail to GoPro and you get it back in a few days. It's a hassle. So for now, I'm gonna deal with it. But I am gonna continue using the GoPro, and this is what I think. It's either gonna go left or right. When the media mod comes out, the way I guess the media mod works is, you slide it into the case, and it plugs in obviously to the USB-C. So either A, I'm gonna get the media mod, and if I plug it in there and it makes a good connection, then it'll probably solve my problem. I'll be able to use the slot on the media mod itself. Or B, I'm gonna put it in that media mod and it's not gonna make a good connection to the media mod, and now it's just the same problem. But I'm gonna take that risk. It's 79 bucks, so whenever the media mod comes out, I'll give it a shot. Hopefully it locks in there good enough where it makes a connection, and I'll just leave it in the media mod. Even though the media mod is not waterproof. That's kind of strange, I guess, because the microphone, they had to do it that way. But I'm looking forward to that coming out. I guess I'll probably be able to get my hands on it in January or February. But until then, folks, I'm going to keep rocking on with the GoPro Hero 8. And, just enjoying the halfway decent, the usable audio coming out of this little thing. And yeah, I don't have a front-facing screen, but the lens is wide enough where I've never screwed up and not got myself in frame. It's just too easy. And that's another reason that it makes it easier, because this little screen right here is great, but it's so damn tiny, I can't see shit on that little screen. It's still good for my walking tours because I don't have to look at it. I just, hold the horizon and keep talking. So I'm not giving this away. I'm not getting rid of this guy. It's definitely better in low light, and the stabilization obviously works in low light. But this is my primary camera right now for run and gun, making videos on the go. And folks, that's about all my thoughts right now. Maybe I wrote some more stuff down, but overall, knock on wood, after 1 month, roughly 1 month and 15 videos or so, I'm really enjoying the GoPro Hero 8. It is totally, it's a totally different user experience than the GoPro Hero 4, that piece of shit paperweight that they put out back then. That was a horrible experience. And so I decided, hey, GoPro, I'll give you another chance. I'm gonna give you another chance. And other than the damn shitty ass loose USB-C port, I'm digging it. I'm digging it. I like the little battery charger. I even like this damn grip right here. And so far it's doing us well on making our little travel shows and just being on the go. All right, folks. Well, I hope this helped you. And if you want to check out any of the footage, just go back through the past 15 videos. I think I got hashtags in there, GoPro Hero 8. You can look in the description and see which ones are filmed on this little guy right here. If DJI comes out with an upgraded action with upgraded audio, I would probably go with the DJI, because I know 100% this is reliability. 100% this damn thing has never let me down, never, you know, in any way. This thing right here, I'm only 1 month into it. And, you know, I've already got one issue. So if DJI comes out with a new action with upgraded audio that can match or beat the GoPro, then I would buy the DJI Action 2, whatever the hell they're going to call it, and I would give it a try, and I would pit it against this guy. But I can tell you right now, you know, listening to a million tests, this audio beats the Osmo Action hands down. The clips I've heard, they sound eerily similar to the Osmo Pocket, and it's just too low. It's doesn't pick up the people around you. So if you're trying to decide, I guess this would be my advice to you. If you have to have a camera now, I would get the GoPro Hero 8. That's what I would do, because the audio is so damn important. If you don't have to have one now, I might give it a few months to see a couple things. Number one, how does that mod work with the microphone for the GoPro Hero 8? Is it a great improvement to where you just absolutely have to go with this setup? Or B, maybe DJI comes out with an upgraded action that has quality audio, and then I would probably seriously think about going with DJI. Because let's face it, GoPro doesn't have a good track record with reliability. They just don't. Every product they've pushed out, I mean, go look at all the complaints. You know, from missed clips to the damn thing locking up to shit don't work. You know, for me, GoPro is sort of like Microsoft. They pump out a product and it just never works right. I mean, Microsoft been making Windows since what year? A fucking 1980, and they can't make Windows work right. That's why I'm an Apple guy. And so that's why that's the way I kind of look at them. So far in my experience, DJI, the shit always works. And if they do come out with an action cam with upgraded audio, I gotta pick it up. I gotta pick it up and see how it works. Folks, I hope this helps you make a decision or not make a decision. But just realize that audio is even more important than the video quality. You can have shitty video and good audio, people will still listen to your video. But if you have shitty audio, they're gonna complain all day long, they're not gonna listen to it. It's just like putting your fingernails on a chalkboard. People can't stand it. So that's why I'm here with this GoPro. I'll see you guys on the next video and next live stream or whatever comes down the pipe. Peace out, my friends. Have a great day.